What's going on, everybody? I am back with another Underdog MLB player props video. This one going to be breaking it down, giving you guys 5 picks to get you win some money over here on Underdog. As always, if you haven't checked out Underdog, would highly recommend you check them out, guys. It is a player props website and app where you can win money off of picking the over and under on things like players' pitch count, strikeouts, pitching outs, fantasy points, hits, etc. Go ahead and use that promo code KJK DFS to receive an instant match on your first deposit up to $100 today. Again, that is code KJK DFS. Go to lock that in. Get that free money offer and start winning some money over here on Underdog today, guys. I got 5 picks for you. You can mix and match these to mitigate your risk. You can go for the big one, the 5 pick to 20x your money over here on Underdog. But obviously, the more picks, the more risk, the higher payout. So however you want to do it, you can mitigate your risk. I got 5 that I really like. You can mix and match these. You can go for the big 5, whatever you want. But if you enjoy, would be greatly appreciated if you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content that I upload. And if you are getting very serious, I do offer premium content packages that is linked below in the description. So, let's talk about it. I got 5 for you. We'll go game by game as we always do. In the first game that I want to talk about is going to be the Chicago White Sox taking on the Baltimore Orioles. I want to talk about some White Sox bats because they get to take on Spencer Watkins, who is terrible against right-handed hitting. You're looking at his metrics across the board as far as how he does. Does not get any worse than this. He has a 10.9% K rate against right-handed bats with a 660 slugging given up, 38.7% hard contact rate, and a 443 WOBA to go along with a 45.1% fly ball rate and only a 33.5% ground ball rate. So he is terrible against right-handed hitting. And that's going to be a problem for him because we're going to kick things off at the top of this lineup with Tim Anderson. You look at his numbers against right-handed pitching on the season. He features a 350 WOBA with a 110 ISO. He can also wheel and deal on the base paths, which is something that I'm always looking at when it comes to these picks because, hey, if he hits a ball in the gap, you know, obviously getting a double and being able to wheel it out instead of a single gets you the over rather than what's not hitting. So Tim Anderson, above average speed. He has 16 bolts, which is pretty impressive as far as the league's concerned. That's like a metric where, you know, a certain top speed has to be reached, and he has 16 of those. So to put that in perspective, I mean, no one else on this team has anywhere near that. And I think if you go to the entire league as far as bolts, let's just pull it up just to kind of give us a little bit of a sample size here as far as how impressive that is. Well, we do have some guys way up there, actually. Trey Turner, Bobby Witt, Amon Rosario. So some of the most elite speed guys are up in the 30s. But few and far between, and Tim Anderson is number 11 at 16, so still pretty impressive, really good top speed. So for pick number 1, we are going to be rocking with Tim Anderson, and we're going to be rocking with his bases, everything that we talked about. Number 1, Spencer Watkins is really terrible against right-handed hitting. Number 2, Tim Anderson has some nice numbers against right-handed pitching. And number 3, he can wheel and deal on the base paths, which is always something I like to look at to make sure that they can stretch those singles into doubles, get us multiple bases, hopefully. But to start things out, like I said, pick number 1, we're going to be going with the over 1.5 total bases for Tim Anderson here today. So lock that in as number 1. Number 2, we're going to be going to his teammate, though, and that is going to be Luis Robert. Same story. Really good numbers against right-handed pitching. Spencer Watkins is really bad against right-handed hitting. He can also wheel and deal on the base paths. He comes in with a 310 WOBA off right-handed pitching on the season. And you look at his sprint speed on the StatCast sprint leaderboard here as far as the Chicago White Sox. Let's go ahead and pull them back up here. Luis Robert also above average. Anytime they're in the red, guys, in the sprint speed when I'm pulling up this metric, that means they're above average. He has 2 bolts in the season, 27.6 sprint speed, and also really good numbers against righty. So pick number 2, we are going to be rocking with the over 1.5 total bases here for Luis Robert. Also has been really locked in at the plate as of late. Last time out, first time in a really long time, he hasn't gotten a hit. So, Luis Robert going to be pick number 2 on the video today, like the over 1.5 total bases for him. So we're going to target 2 of those White Sox bats with Spencer Watkins splits issues. And then for the rest of our picks, we're going to be targeting another guy with some splits issues. We're going to be talking about Mr. Alex Faedo. He has to go into Arizona today. He has terrible numbers against left-handed hitting. Really, really bad. Very similar to Spencer Watkins, where he doesn't strike anyone out. He gives up a ton of hard contact. That's going to be a problem for him. He only has a 12.4% K rate overall against lefties. 53.2% fly ball rate, 37.2% hard contact rate with a 517 slugging given up, and he has to take on a pretty left-handed heavy Arizona Diamondbacks lineup here. Not to mention, in Arizona, that right field porch, the left field I'm sorry, the right field to left-handed batters plays very, very friendly, as you can see with the diagram. Chase field, green, 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 down that right field line to left-handed batters. So everything looking fantastic for these left-handed batters for Arizona tonight. And I want to be targeting 3 of them. I want to be targeting 3 of them at the top of the lineup. As a matter of fact, 1, 2, 3. Dalton Varsho kicking things off at the top as far as his WOBA is concerned. He has a 320 WOBA with a 210 ISO. So not only does he have power, but he can also hit for contact. And once again, these guys have above average speed. Looking at the Arizona Diamondbacks as far as their speed's concerned, pulling up the diagram here as far as the sprint speed. For Mr. Dalton Varsho, you can see he's in the red, above at league average, 27.8 sprint speed. So that is going to obviously make us like the pick even more. If at all possible, man, obviously sprint speed's not everything. You have to put the ball in play, but we start with the bats and why we like the bats, and then we kind of touch on the speed after. So obviously I like the bats. The speed helps out. I like the over 1.5 total bases here for Dalton Varsho as pick number 3. Once again, Fado terrible against left-handed hitting. Varsho can hit right-handed pitching very well, and Fado doesn't strike anyone out, so should have plenty of opportunity. Dalton Varsho going to be pick number 3 here. Pick number 4, we're going to the guy in the 2 spot, Alek Thomas. Once again, really good numbers against right-handed pitching. You look at Alek Thomas's numbers. He features a 370 WOBA with a 230 ISO. He also has above average sprint speed. Looking at him, Alek Thomas, he's number 2 on the team. He has a 29.2 sprint speed, so really good, 2 bolts on the season. He also can run around the base paths. And I like the over 1.5 total bases for him as pick number 4 here. Same thing. Fado's terrible against left-handed bats. 12.4% K rate, 517 slugging, not good. The field play is very good. 2 left-handed bats. Everything lining up there. So pick number 4 is going to be Alek Thomas, over 1.5 total bases. And pick number 5, we're going to be going to the guy in the 3 spot in KJ Marte. Once again, switch hitter, hits from the left-handed side of the plate. You look at his numbers against right-handed pitching on the season. He features a 330 WOBA, 170 ISO. He also has above average sprint speed, number 8 on the team. He features a 27.4 sprint speed, 1 bolt on the season, and also like his bases. Going with the over 1.5 total bases for KJ Marte. Pick number 5 in the video. So we have 2 pitchers that have really, really bad splits numbers that I want to be taking advantage of today that we just covered. I mean, just terrible. They don't strike anyone out. They give up a ton of hard contact. You look at the implied total for both the teams we're targeting as far as the Diamondbacks, they come in with a 4.64 implied total, so obviously they're expected to move some action on the base paths. The Chicago White Sox come in with a 5.19 implied total, so everything matching up to target these bats. Really like these picks today, and that is my 5 picks to get you winning some money over here on Underdog. As always, guys, hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content that I upload. If you haven't checked out the premium content packages, check those out. And if you haven't signed up for Underdog, sign up today. Use that promo code KJK DFS to receive an instant match on your first deposit up to $100. Wishing you all the best of luck on your props, and we will see you in the next one.